Hello. Uh, so, an update. A bunch of stuff. Just to get into it. So, last time I vlogged, I forget like specifically what, but wanted to update because I'm now a month and a few days completely sober, which is very exciting. I know I mentioned last time that I still smoke weed, but now that is no longer the case. Very cool. I think I may like go back to it sometime in life, but right now I'm actually very much enjoying the sobriety vibes. I wrote down like my experience with it, or like what like I've basically been like thinking or experiencing. But I can probably do it just off dome really quick. The first like few weeks I noticed that like my anxiety levels were like lower, which is pretty nice, and my like sleeping was great. It was like getting better, and then now it's like great. I like, oh my god, sleep is so great. And then I'm like dreaming now, like that's like totally amazing. Oh my god. And then I like forgot how like much I like dreaming. I fully like stopped dreaming for like how many years, because I would like sleep to go to sleep, and then like I would just like not dream because I was like high when I was sleeping. So very cool. Saving money, love that. I have more energy, so that's like also the other thing is like I have like so much more energy now, which has been a blessing and a curse. I would say like a blessing because like I love having like energy, but something that is interesting about that is like I used to, let's say, like be in my mind and be like, okay, well I'm gonna like smoke a joint and then like do my laundry, or like smoke a joint and then like clean my apartment, because like that would be like just like the thing that would be like in my mind as the thing that would get me to do that. But I found now that I'm like perfectly able to just like do my laundry and like clean my apartment without doing that, and then I also don't need like another joint to reward myself for doing that, which is very funny. So now I'm just like productive, and like I have this energy, and my day is not like tied to like smoking weed or ever, like at the end of the day, which also frees up my end of the day, because like when I'm high I don't necessarily like being around people, or like I don't like interacting with people so much, because I get way more like in my head, which is actually really helpful sometimes, like if I just like need to like be on my computer for like 10 hours and like make an hour-long lo-fi music video or whatever. Like that's a really easy thing to do if I'm like smoking weed. I'll just like have a couple joints and then just like get that done in 10 hours. But now I found that I just like have more energy, so I've been like walking around, and that's basically what I'd like. So that's why I'm here, is because what I was doing in the last like month or so is basically just like walking around and like eating a lot. Sweet corn review. Oh my god, it's actually so good. Okay, ginger shot review. It's apple, lemon, and ginger. I already know it's delicious, but oh my god, it's so good. Because like that was just like my thing, to just like not go to the dispensary and get weed. I would just like keep myself busy by just like constantly walking around like, oh my god, like what's going on, which I used to do like when I was like smoking weed too. But like I just love walking, but it's really easy to like go get a sandwich or a slice of pizza or some prosciutto, like just, or a kombucha. Oh my god, I have a kombucha right now. I forgot how much I love kombucha. Oh my god. But like these are things that are like cumulatively, like even if I like get a bunch of like a burger and a slice of pizza and a sandwich and a kombucha, that's still cheaper than smoking weed. So it's actually like, it's like pretty great. It's a great way to stop smoking weed, is just like walk around a lot, and then like when you feel like eating something, just eat something, or if you get a craving for weed, just like eat something. I don't know. Yeah, basically that's like all of it. Which it also like makes you think about like the sober pregame thing, which is like that was a good thing, but then I also like updated that in my mind to be like, because that is like insinuates that like there's going to be like a night out afterwards or whatever. So I updated that. This is another update, I guess, to be mental health day party, which I think is actually a better name, and it's more applicable to like more situations. So cool. I guess the other update is music update. Is I just dropped today my first like album that is of music that is not like lo-fi or like instrumental music. This is gonna be my first album that has like actual like lyrics and vocals and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty exciting. And I was like reflecting on that because the song or the album is called Everyone Deserves Healthcare, which is just like something I believe. I think everyone like, you know, deserves healthcare. And it's actually really funny because that phrase has been in my mind like for the better part of this year, and it like totally morphed into like this song project, which then morphed into this album, because all of the songs are, oh wow, garden in transition, very true. You know, we're all in transition, everything is temporary, everything's evolving and changing, it's beautiful. So this album, the single, they're all singles because I basically just like this summer was very productive in making singles and just like learning how to make what is called tech house music, or just like house music, or like techno with lyrics and vocals. These are all singles that I made, so I compiled the best of them, and then they're all of the same kind of like theme and of like wellness, mental health, or just like kind of reflection and all that kind of stuff. And then the last song is, or the song that like is the tying thing is Everyone Deserves Healthcare. So I was like interested in that because I was like, whoa, that's really been on my mind this entire year. So I just like wanted to like figure out the timeline on that, and I may like cut in some like stuff because I have been like vlogging about this, but like, so I first made a t-shirt that is like this like cool camo t-shirt that I really like, that just says Everyone Deserves Healthcare on it. I made that on May 16th, which is like so long ago, like to think about. Oh my god. And then on May 22nd, I was at like a local bar / like club, and I was like in the like dance area, and they were playing house music, and I was just like dancing to the beat. And okay, wow, amazing time at Jackhammer. Oh my god. The Everyone Deserves Healthcare chant. That was really good. That's a good one. I'm gonna release that house track soon. Everyone deserves healthcare. Everyone deserves healthcare. So that like really stuck in my mind, because I was like, oh wow, that's just like a really simple lyric, and house music can sometimes have very simple lyrics. So I was like, oh, that could be a good song. And then that like went away in my mind. And then during all of this too, on May 12th was the first mental health dinner party. It's a cat. And wow, spare cooler. Wow. Amazing. Oh my god. If you've been watching these vlogs, which I don't know if anyone is, I vlogged about that. That was really cool. I really enjoyed the mental health dinner party. That like also was kind of one of the starters of this whole like journey, in terms of like evolving this project from just music to something more tangible and like real in the real world. Because like the events really could just be what this project is, like the music and the like video content and like all that kind of stuff on YouTube, like supporting, but the events could really be what it is. So that happened on May 12th. That's a long time ago. It is now September 2025. What? Like, wow. So then June 7th, I made my first tech house song for Fun Mental Health Care. Also just kind of like my first tech house song. And I was like, oh, whoa, I know how to do this now. Very cool. So fast forward, from June 7th until on, I was like making a bunch of singles. So fast forward to September 2nd, I actually make the first Everyone Deserves Healthcare snippet, like for a song, which I'll play right now.
Everyone deserves healthcare. Everyone deserves healthcare.
So it's very raw, like it's very raw. So if you listen to that snippet to like the actual like end song,
everyone deserves healthcare now. No one should have to feel alone.
It's very funny because it actually is built off of that like recording. AI is like so cool and amazing. So then if you go to today, earlier today, like at like basically like midnight, I published September 11th the song, like because I had it like in my drafts and I was like, oh, I should just like publish it because like I forgot that, I just like remembered that I had it and I was like, I need to make this like album. So here we go, like publish. So it's published, very cool. The album has been submitted to, if I had a label, if I wasn't my own label, I'd say it was submitted to the label, but it's actually just submitted to like the platform that will submit it to like Apple Music and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. So it technically is out and dropped right now. All the singles are on YouTube right now, but it's not like actually on streaming yet. But when it appears on streaming, it'll say today, which is September 11th. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that just like shows a timeline of like the creative process, which like the creative process can be applied to things such as funding mental health care and like things like advocacy and like basically just like advocating for what you believe in, which is really cool because creativity is great. It's like, it's amazing. It's it's like a creative process where you can create something that means something to you and it can mean like things to other people too, and you can imbue meaning within it and it can just live in the world and become something else. Just like, yeah, it's cool. It's like an object that you can create that basically is like, oh, this is something that represents in my mind and maybe minds of other people. And if it literally says everyone deserves healthcare, it's like, this is a representative object that says everyone deserves healthcare and it exists in the world. It's not just in my mind anymore. I think that's very cool. Okay, I'm gonna part two because a little bit more. So that's the music update, which means that's, it's the music. The album has dropped. I've dropped my first album. I'm very excited about it, and that means I'm just gonna like keep on going with mental health day party, and then I also wanted to talk about like mental health dinner party again, which I'm realizing, since the holidays are coming up, that's a great event franchise to do for the holidays. So there will probably be a mental health dinner party for like either Thanksgiving or Christmas, but basically just the holiday season one, because that is a time where like mental health does come into play, where it's like if you don't necessarily have somewhere to go, it can become a bummer when everyone is like talking about all of the places where they go. I also wanted to talk about like because like it is of the moment right now. Like healthcare is such an important topic to talk about right now, because like not everyone has access to healthcare, and then also everyone's healthcare that they do have access to is not always good enough to actually get them the healthcare that they need. People go bankrupt for healthcare issues. It ruins lives, and if we just had a more ethical and compassionate and egalitarian healthcare system, it would really benefit society. specifically American society, because in America we just don't have that. And that's at top of mind right now because like what happened yesterday, I don't want to get too specific, is like kind of a great example of just like what is happening in the country right now. Like everything is really divided right now. The temperature is really high right now. There's a lot of anger in politics. Like people are just like extremely angry, and people don't feel that their government is taking care of them. And when people don't think that their government is taking care of them, that's when things like what happened yesterday, which was like an act of political violence on what is essentially like a civilian, happened. And it's like that's something that should not happen, and it's an artifact of our broken system. So I also talked about this in a recent vlog about how essentially like a broken healthcare system and a broken system in general like leads to radicalization and extremism, and that's essentially like what we saw yesterday. And not even like talking about that, I just like want to get into like the kind of like solutions. And of that, I really do think that if everyone had healthcare, because everyone deserves healthcare, things like this would like not happen, because people wouldn't be as angry. And sorry, oh my god, I'm trying to avoid people, oh my god. But yeah, it's just like a simple thing. Mental health and physical health, they're deeply intertwined. And if everyone had healthcare, if everyone had like a stake in the system, the temperature would be brought down. And this is something that actually could bring the country together, which is like if everyone just had healthcare and was not just like so angry. No one should be punished for living, and everyone at some time in their life will need support. And that's basically like what I keep on coming around to think about, is how like when you're in a moment of crisis, you're like complete, and if you are alone and you live in what is supposed to be like the most resourced country in the world or whatever, like you feel like you may feel like you just like want to lash out and you don't care about anything anymore. And that's how things like what happened yesterday happened. This should not be the case. It should not be this way. And like things like people having access to healthcare, if healthcare was provided, and people didn't have to worry about that, and people didn't have to worry about living, or like if they got sick, if they got cancer, if anything like that, bankruptcy, it's just a system that punishes people. So like we just shouldn't have that system. Things need to change. The temperature needs to be brought down. And I think we could I think we could work together, because we do have a government, we do have democracy, we are able to vote. We just need to vote in, we either need to vote in leaders who will actually enact change that is good for people, or we need to build parallel systems within the broken system until the system changes. I think, yeah, that's I think what I wanted to say. It's just I already talked about like the radicalization thing. Truly, like there is just a group of people in the country that are radicalized because of like whatever reason, and radicalization in of itself is like could be thought of as like a mental health, not like illness, but like it's something that is in the realm of mental health, because like that's just not like someone who's radicalized is not gonna, that's not like how someone ought to be if things are like operating in the system as they should. So that was really deep. And yeah, I could talk at much more length about that, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to update about the music that I dropped, because that is what I'm working on. And I will follow up on this in like writing, in terms of like, because I've like been writing about this. I think that we really do need to bring the temperature of the country down. We need to be able to have discourse, and we do need to be able to basically, like, what's happening in government right now is just like stalemate. There's just like nothing happening. But that is a very long-term fix. Just new people need to be voted in, or the people who are currently in there need to just like be able to agree on legislation that can actually get passed. And this can happen at any level, the local level, the state level, and the federal level. So, yeah, because I don't have specifics written down, I think that's where I'm going to leave it right now. But in terms of solutions, community building, I think, is a solution. Basically, ways for people to be able to talk to each other and kind of like get to know each other in a way that is like non-adversarial and like adversarially political, which is kind of like what's happening right now, where if you just like turn on the mainstream like the mainstream media, because to me like mainstream news is like C-SPAN or like Bloomberg. Like I really like non political news sources, but like if you look at like the news sources, like basically like Fox News, basically like any news source that is not strictly data is going to, at this point, just like have a political bent where they have, I'm failing to get the word in my mind right now, but a political pundit, there we go. A political pundit is going to be like talking, and they're going to have an agenda because some large corporation likely paid them to be there. So that's where we're at. And it doesn't need to be this way. It's sad. It truly is sad. Because like at the end of the day, the people who get hurt are like marginalized people, like people who can't afford to just like live separate from all of this. Yeah, so just like we need to fix things because everyday people are getting hurt. And like that's not how things should be, especially in the country that we say is the most resourced country in the world. So yeah, this is really serious. I mean, it's all serious. So yeah. I think we can work to make it better. And I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. If you're one of the... I don't think anyone's watching this. But yeah. See you later.